All right, so welcome to the first lesson, Introduction to Grammar. At this point, you should have downloaded the document off of Edline, handout number 1, and you should have something to write with. And I think if you've got those two things, you're all set. All right, so let's get started. In this lesson, we're going to talk about three things. Why grammar? We're going to discuss some terms and definitions, and then we're going to end with some diagram basics. Now, we're not going to get into diagramming sentences per se, but we're just going to talk about the basic things that make up a diagrammed sentence to prepare you to be able to handle lesson number 2, in which we do diagram some very simple sentences. So to begin this lesson, we want to talk about some of the feelings that people have about learning grammar. And for some people, when I talk about using grammar in class, they think about their days at school in which, the professor, sort of a mad professor, mad scientist, opens up a book and just begins lecturing about rules and about all the grammar definitions and terms. And a lot of people remember those teachers and have come away with feelings about grammar in which they just didn't like it. And other people that I've talked to said, well, grammar is only for those people that really want to study it. Those people that want to go to college and open up all the books about grammar. That's really why you should learn it. Otherwise, we don't have to really know all the rules about grammar. But there are some people that just flat out become intimidated by learning grammar. They get so frustrated by all the rules and definitions that they just simply want to give up. Now, our goal in learning grammar this year is to take away all those myths and to really have you look at grammar as being not only really useful but enjoyable to learn as well. So there's just a few rules that I have about my own class in terms of students learning grammar. And the first rule really is that it shouldn't really take up that much time in class. Because you are viewing these videos online, a lot of the class time then will be freed up. In addition, we're only looking at maybe 10 minutes. So if you look at that picture of the clock on the right-hand side, you'll see that it's only 10 minutes have passed. And really in class, that's what we're looking at. And I guarantee in 10 to 15 minutes, a couple days a week, by the end of the year, you will have learned all of the basic rules of grammar that will move your writing forward. The other piece, along with that, then rule number 2, is that you should be experiencing some success through learning grammar this year. And judging from the way you come in and what you know, by the end of the year you should really have seen the growth in your own skill level. And then, of course, grammar should be fun. And while it may not be the most enjoyable thing you've ever done, really learning grammar should be something that you find as being pleasant and not a drudgery. Okay. In some of the arguments of why learning grammar is important, I think that really the first one is empowering you to have a command over language. And when I talk about that, students are a little confused about what that means. Let me try to explain. Having a command over language doesn't mean that you learn how to speak. We already know that you know how to talk, and we also know that you've done a lot of writing up to this point. Really what command over language means is that given any situation that you're in, whether you're writing a college paper, or whether you want to write a persuasive paper, or whether you're giving a formal speech in front of a group, you have the tools of grammar at your disposal to know exactly how to structure those assignments and presentations. Another reason for learning grammar is that it improves your writing. And improving your writing is really important, especially if you're going to be going on to high school and writing college papers, that the more you learn about grammar, the more you're empowered about this command over language, the more you'll see your writing improve. The third, and maybe this won't be as persuasive to you as learning grammar, is that there's now sections on the SAT in which there'll be grammar questions. So, you know, if you're concerned at all about those scores, that's something that's a priority for you later as you get into high school. Definitely the things that we will learn will be things that you can take to that. All right, so let's talk about some ways that you're going to be learning grammar this year. Of course, the first step that you'll take is you're going to view these videos, and after this video there are 8 more that you'll be viewing over the